Hi, I'm Appaloosa, owner of Light Body Energetics, and today I wanted to talk about attachments for your tuning forks. So I have several that I've gone over before, but I wanted to give a little bit more information on what they can be used for or why one is more beneficial than another for certain things. So I get my tuning forks from either the Biofield Tuning Store.com, which is Eileen McCusick's store for Biofield Tuning. She has several forks that she has invented and that I use pretty much on a daily basis. I'm also a Biofield Tuning practitioner, certified practitioner. Then I also use Biosonics, biosonics.com, and there's several forks I use on there as a vibrational fascia release technique practitioner. And they do sell gem feet and several weighted and unweighted forks as well. So starting with the gem feet, they are sold by Biosonics, and you can get those in a 25 millimeter or a 15 millimeter. They do have many different types of gemstones. I have an amethyst, rose quartz, and my smallest is a blue quartz. They all have their own, fantastic properties. If you wanted to look more into properties, they do have them listed on their website with descriptions, or you can just look up the gemstone in particular. But they do, especially quartz, is very highly structured. It does amplify frequency. It does feel really good on the skin because it's smooth and it's flat. When you do get a tuning fork, it does not come with an attachment. So it is bare on the bottom. And that is fine for doing a placement on the body. It's not that comfortable, and you do usually want to use pretty good pressure when you use tuning forks on the body. It doesn't feel as great when you're putting it on the face, and you don't want to be dragging it on the skin. So that's why using gem feet feels really nice. You can, in fact, drag that onto the skin. Of course, if you are going to be using that on your face, you want to have your face moisturized with serum or some moisturizer. The 15 millimeter is rather small, so that is really good for getting underneath the eye, or in just using it in acupressure points and holding and breaking up fascia using a lot of pressure. If you're trying to break up a knot, it's really good for that. It feels more comfortable than the bare, but it's small enough where you're really getting that stuff broken down. So that's the 15 millimeter. The 25 millimeter is good if you're really trying to do a lymphatic flush or a facial, where I did a video on this. So if you want to watch that video on how I do a daily lymphatic flush and facial, you can really pull it across the skin surface, or you can do point treatment over organs and holding there for a couple of activations and breathing deeply and just letting your body resonate with the frequency of the fork. Biosonics is the only company that sells gem feet besides Sun Reed. So if you order from Biofield Tuning Store and you want a gem foot, you'll have to order those from Biosonics. They do give you an Allen wrench so you can put it on, tighten it, and if you want to take it off and change it out with a different one, you can do that. Okay, so getting into Biofield Tuning Store, I have a sonic slider with a handle. This handle extender fits on the sonic slider. And the reason you would want to use the handle, maybe it's a little bit more comfortable to hold in your hand if you're using it. I think that using it on the body, if you're doing kind of like your daily dry brushing or just connecting with the bones and structures of your body, then you would use the handle across the skin, and that gives you a really wide surface to work with. Eileen McCusick does have a series on the sonic slider and how to do a daily body work, and it feels really good. You can also use this to get into knots. You can use circular motions. You can use it on the face with pressure, just like the gem foot. You'd basically be doing everything you do with the gem foot with the base of this, except there's not a gemstone, so you're not getting the properties of the gemstone or that highly structured amplification, but you are getting a really nice surface that feels good and to really dig into muscles as you need to. Or if you're doing this on someone, you can actually heat the bottom of this handle, and that heat will also help melt muscles. So that feels really good. If you are going to do a daily kind of like a dry brushing, you can use the handle and activate and go up towards the heart on all of your body. Next up from Biofield Tuning Store is the circuit boot. This is different from the contour boot. A contour boot won't have these little divots in the bottom of the fork. These little divots help the frequency maintain its cycles longer, and it kind of amplifies the frequency as well. I've actually found that this is really nice and smooth on the skin. I love using this. I use it as much as I use the gem feet on my face as points, pressure points, points on the body. I also can use it just like the handle extender, moving up the body towards the heart. And it feels really nice. She also makes one that's called a contour boot that doesn't have the little holes and divots in the bottom. But I really like this. I find that the frequency is stronger and it maintains longer. So that's a really nice one. Now you can also use a crystal. This is a Lemurian crystal. We use these a lot in biofield tuning. And a bear stem. And you would activate the fork, place onto the crystal, and the crystal point onto the body. Don't push too hard because it might be sharp. And what that does is this crystal amplifies quartz. We know quartz amplifies frequency. It's also very highly structured order. Why we use it in clocks. It keeps the time consistent. So that highly structured order is just this amplified frequency into your body. It just is, it feels really nice. So you can use that on knots. I keep going to the same spot because I might have a knot there. You can use it on knots for about 3 activations, waiting till the vibration stops all the way, taking nice deep breaths. And once the activation is stopped, you can do it again up to about 3 times. It does release nitric oxide in the blood, which does increase circulation and speeds the healing response. So having tuning forks release nitric oxide in the blood is really beneficial. So the last thing I want to talk about is just the activators. So the Biofield Tuning Store and Biosonics have activators with their own logos on them. You can use these for unweighted forks. You can use them for weighted forks too. You can use like so. Eileen McCusick also developed this one where you can keep it flat on a surface, and that's really nice for using with weighted forks. If you don't know how to do activation with weighted forks yet, I suggest flexing the palm of your hand and doing a light tap, or the top of your knee, above your knee, or the side of your hip is fine. And try not to do it so hard that you smack those tines together. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to Light Body Energetics if you enjoyed this video, and we will have some more tutorials to come.